Leslie.
My
Nay. Is
evil.
Talking like a close-up, man. Like you don't know, you just see her doing this thing, right? And you're like wondering what's going on, right? And she's mesmerizing us with her mesmerizing eyes. And you keep going.
I put my scene, which was like a minute long, on tape, sitting on my bed, and I sent it. Half a week later, I was cast.
And she did it like staring right at the little monitor. Her staring at the monitor with her crazy eyes influenced us to do this shot over here, which opens the virgin sacrifice dream sequence.
Age-old technique. It's called a mesmerizer. Anamorphic lens that changes the shape. People use it for acid trips.
It's really a psychedelic movie.
We're using a lot of superimposition and psychedelic transitions.
My name's Gregory Smith. I'm playing Perry.
Leslie is about a juror who falls in love with hippie death murderess.
And then takes it upon himself maybe to try to rescue her before he realizes that God wants her dead.
It's sad. Their love story is a tragic one.
Your whole system is a game, Perry.
Ill-fated.
The thing of it is like in today's kind of, MTV age, it's like, to do a 8-second dissolve is now really kind of radical.
Reg is a 7-foot genius.
We're out Tarantinoing Tarantino.
You get so excited about everything.
Handheld, seeing them. Tie her up. Once that business is done, just a close-up on Leslie.
Like after every take, just seeing these characters that he's written come to life just makes him get so excited that it just creates this really great energy on set.
It was brilliant direction. We just sit down, we look around, and you're transported into another world, and you say like your line, and then you just hear Reg giggling behind the monitors.
Yeah, Reg has this kind of great and unique style in that he's kind of really open to other people's ideas. We often think that the best kinds of directors have answers for everything, and one of the things that's great about his process is he's really open.
He's just got a passion for filmmaking that's refreshing and fantastic to be around. It's contagious for sure.
Hot. I was in Vancouver. I had only been able to bring like 20 or so records with me, so I kept playing the same records over and over, and one of them was the Pink Mountaintops' first album with a song called Leslie.
It's a pleasure to have the song Leslie be used for this recreation of Southern California death cult hippie stuff.
My name is Evil.
It doesn't say evil, it says Eva. It says my name isn't Eva. I didn't even write the words for that song. My old girlfriend, Honey, wrote the words for that song.
The hottest Manson chick was this girl named
Leslie Van Houten. She comes from a broken home, so there's always this underlying need to be loved and this lonely quality that she has throughout. She's permanently on this quest for love, like, will you love me? And Charlie was the sort of figure who had all the answers, and plus they were all taking acid, which is, a mind opener.
I read up on cults and Manson and Helter Skelter. My character, Katie, is like the perfect soldier for the army that he's creating. And he wants all of the rest of the girls to be like her.
Will you follow me, Lulu?
I play Charlie. Shall we say conflicted?
Will you follow me to hell, girl? There we will find truth.
We wrote a special song, Will You Follow Me to Hell, Girl?
Will you follow me, follow me, follow
he's like the beautiful sun, and if I could have one word to describe Bobby, it would be sexy.
Will you follow me to hell, girl? There we will find love. You look so good on fire, baby, better than heaven above.
This isn't acting, man.
You know, my friend Paul is just like the uber god of 60s psychedelic rock.
Hi, Mum. Working in low budget, because it is low budget, the people who come because they want to be there.
Where's the end of the show? We don't get invited to the rap party if we don't.
And that's a very satisfying way to work.
Sorry guys, I can't come out tonight. I got to study for Bruce's tent.
It's kind of unique. Doesn't it feel that way when you're hanging around? Like, it's really not a tense set, right? I know. I've seen tense sets. I've been on them.
Man, smoke a joint and watch this movie.
Yeah, I just want to, you know, the travel of the zoom. Count on a guy to get what you want in 2 minutes.
I'm the one that has to do it in 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's right.
We have an amazing crew of people that have worked tirelessly, sometimes 7 days a week, to make this movie.
We were going to shoot in August, and then we got delayed right up till November. It was like 25 degrees. It was unbelievably warm. Everybody wore shorts. There's great sun. It just looks totally like California. And maybe the freakishness is some sort of consolation prize for the long time that it took to finally get financed and finally make it.
18 days. I mean, it was quite a complex script to film in 18 days, and yet that's what we were able to afford.
Kind of what we came up with, this kind of like artificial TV world. We tried to keep kind of Leslie in that kind of orangey, you know, realm, and then we call them the Hellfire colors as she gets to the ranch. Walter and Perry's world stays kind of seafoam green to the kind of aqua teals of that period as well.
The murder scene sort of has a slightly different feel from the rest of the movie. It's actually, I think, the point where the two worlds collide. The two colors meet. The camera work obviously is a little more frenetic. It's mostly night in the jail cells, a sickly fluorescent sort of lighting.
As the characters transition in their journey, the clothes also have their own journey and the colors change.
Leslie, the character, goes from a progression of conservative, and then her palette gets hotter and hotter. She goes to the ranch, she's in these earth tones, then they become very militarized, and they become this sort of hot acid colors.
We used a Bolex camera to shoot some of the beach scenes and some of the stuff of the girls at the ranch.
You're the most beautiful person I've ever met.
We were lucky enough to be shooting on 35mm. I would hate to have to try and shoot a period piece on video.
We do a look off, a POV shot, and the POV shot is like, it's not even his world he's looking out at. It's like this stock footage world. Whoa.
Did you see?
That's exciting.
Reg often refers to me as the bastard child of Sam Peckinpah. I love American cinema and classic Hollywood movies, and Reg is more than obsessed with the French New Wave, so he is the illegitimate love child of Agnès Varga and Jean-Luc Godard, clearly.
The most remarkable thing about watching the words leap from the page and into the film is like the cast interpretation. Literally, I wrote those as like sexy hippie death cult murderesses in jail, you know, like some kind of 1970s exploitation film like Caged Heat or something. I was thinking, yeah, Caged Heat, we'll have some Caged Heat scenes in this movie. But then these actresses, you know, they don't think that way. They go deep into the characters and try to find some meaning and some truth that they bring. There's a producer I was working with who always maintained that, you know, Reg, someday you're going to make your film that you deal with your relationship with your father. I was always very aware of the place of authority.
He's never seen anything like Leslie before. She's sort of like the embodiment of all, you know, his sort of deepest, darkest, you know, carnal fantasies.
But Leslie is not a demon, Dad.
He sees Leslie, you know, he sees the girl that she was before, and seeing him see that makes her, you know, realize that that Leslie is still there inside of her?
It's sort of about, you know, judging ourselves. A lot of the time it's very obvious in the way that, for example, I would represent the good and Leslie and Charlie represent evil. But then there's sort of these gray areas.
Perry, you make them pay.
Moral compasses.
Are we the bad guys, or is he? He's seen as someone very good who deserves to have a family and a life, and we're the ones that are locked away because, I don't want to say we just killed 7 people, but what he's doing, his creation is killing millions.
Through all of the sort of the social strife and things that are going on in this time period, he starts to sort of peek outside his box a little bit.
This actually happened, and so it is really, really relevant to understand why these things happen, and that they are part of a greater context.
The United States is at war in Iraq, Canada is at war in Afghanistan, and I grew up in Canada at a time when we were peacekeepers and proud to be so, and yet somehow the current administration morphed us into warmongers and not peacekeepers, and I'm not sure that most Canadians have really sat down to think about, do they want to be at war in Afghanistan? And, you know, hopefully watching a movie like this can start people thinking about their definitions of violence, their definitions of force, their definitions of where do those lines get drawn and who draws them, and is it okay if they don't have a voice in that?
Leslie.
My
Lay is evil.
A boy and a girl to walk away in some sort of disagreement as to what the meaning of the movie is, get into like a deep, rich discussion, eventually comes to some agreement and go someplace, either to a car or back to their apartment and make love. That's what I want people to take away from the film. Or if it's a boy and a girl and a girl. We don't discriminate here.